AFTV, Tade, is it Emery's fault or is it this team is not good enough? The players. Whose fault is it?
Quality, Robbie. Quality and mentality. It's as simple as that. There's no two ways about it. I think you and I had an argument about this. Yeah, you and I
Quality and mentality. But does the manager not have to take some of the blame for? I mean, somebody said earlier the form that Arsenal have shown over the last 6-7 games. There's managers who get sacked for that.
I get that, but at the same time, this same manager inherited players that he didn't want.
Yeah, but that is the modern day coach. Remember his title, he's the head coach.
Yeah.
That means you come in to manage the players that are there and your job is to make them better. Are you seeing that with it?
Let me ask you one question. Can you make fire out of wet wood?
Whether you can make fire
I'm asking that.
You can't. Whether you can make it out of wet wood or not. Right? There's managers.
Look, there are some things that are not just possible. They are not physiologically possible. If a quality is crap, it is crap. There's nothing you as a coach can do about it. The best you can do is to be shouting on the sideline and complain about the players. That's the best you can do. Look, when Pep Guardiola took over from Manchester City, he spent over 100 and something million. 100 and something million to get the players he wants. And he still ended third. And he said, hang on a minute, 100 and something million is not enough. Let's buy more players. And he went and bought more players. So now, this brings me back to Kroenke. Up the top. Let's go back up top. Does the owner of this club have the mentality? Does he have what it takes to lead this club, back to the honors? No. Because all he cares about is the money. So it's a cascading effect. It's a cascading effect. Kroenke is the root cause of this problem because they're going to come and tell Emery, hang on, I'm only going to give you 40 million or 50 million to spend. So how can he go with 50 million to get the players he wants? It's not possible, Robbie. It's not possible. So for me, we don't have enough quality players in the squad. It's really that simple.
Do you agree with him?
Yeah, majority of the squad that he's inherited is piss and shit. That's facts. Majority is piss and shit.
Has he made them better? As I said, the modern day coach, I know what Tade's saying, right? But the modern day coach, your job is to coach and make the players that you've been given better. I don't even necessarily know how much of the input he had into some of the players that were bought, apart from, say, Torreira.
No, that's what I mean.
So has he made this team better?
Yes. Defensively, I'll be honest, there's a couple of things he has made better, like the pressing from the front. We all love that as fans. But at the end of the day, what it comes down to is this. You can score 100 goals, but if you conceded 150, you ain't going nowhere. And that's what it comes down to. The last time I was on here, Robbie, and I spoke to you, I said that we got away day herpes, yeah? The club's got AIDS. We got AIDS now. It's got worse. I'm telling you, it's cancerous now. That's how bad it's become. Because when I'm telling you that, what I saw out there, we're not getting worked by like top players. We're getting worked by Solly March. Next week it's gonna be Ben Mee and them man wrapping us up. It's gonna get. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And back to Emery. Has he improved us? Only in small doses. I believe we'll get through on Thursday. Will we win it in Baku? I don't know. But I believe we'll get through on Thursday. The back four is where it is. Start there. Next season, let's start at the back. And let's see what happens from there.
Okay. At least someone's made me smile today. But is it good enough?
Forget about it. Huh? Forget about it.
Forget about it, he says. Same question for you. Is it the manager or is it the quality of the players?
It's the quality of the players. Not good enough. I don't think so. Your back four, you need to sell them. Get new players. Ozil's too old now. You guys have no wingers. I think you guys are kind of delusional. You think your team's good enough to win the league, but...
I'm saying you guys. What's your team?
Me, I support Arsenal.
What do you mean? Who do you mean?
I mean, me too, yeah. And then after, you guys need at least like 4 or 5 years to rebuild. It's going to take a long time, but it's not...
4 or 5 years?
Yeah, it's not Emery's fault. He's not the problem, right? Because the players have to go out and play. But yeah, you guys need a rebuild. That's what I think.
Robbie.
Whose fault is it?
Players' fault, Robbie. I just think now, we the fans, we got to be patient because we got to be rebuilding. And we're going to have more homegrown players. You got to stay in for the long haul. No more superstars, wrong buys, Denis Suarez, this and that, whatever you call it. We've got to be patient, we've got to rebuild. Honestly, we've got to rebuild. Now, going forward on the Europa League Thursday, Valencia, we might win it, but I'm not confident we're going to get to the final and actually win the cup. But you know what? I'm just looking forward to next season. Hopefully, we win the Europa League, but I'm not confident.
You know what? Next season, if we don't improve here, if you look at some of the teams at the moment, take away the top 4. Wolves, if they buy a couple more players.
Yeah.
Leicester, if they buy a couple more players.
Yeah.
Watford, if they invest in a couple more players.
Yeah.
We could be battling out with them if we don't sort out our. It's been awful. I mean, as soon as the pressure's been on, we've fallen apart.
Robbie, I'm glad you actually mentioned that, because today we play Brighton. Look at the players they got. Like somebody said, I think it was him, he said, we don't know who these players are, but I do know who they are. The players with passion, homegrown players. Like you said, next season, imagine if Leicester improve. We're going to be battling for 8, 9. Listen, mate, we got to be prepared, right, to be patient for next season, because what's coming, we need to rebuild. Enough of this delusional stuff, like he said. I agree with him. I'm an Arsenal fan. I walked out for the lap of honor because I was pissed off.
Yeah.
I didn't stay, and I'm going to lie. I walked out because I couldn't take it anymore. I was behind the goal when, like I said, missed those 3 chances, bro. I couldn't believe it. Bro. Unfortunately, I had a migraine attack because I was just shouting. It was driving me mad. I was frustrated. I left. Listen, we've got to be honest with ourselves. This year was rubbish. The players were absolutely, they got no bottle. Let's just hope and pray we win the Europa League and end off on a nice sign-off. That's all I can say.
Okay. What about you?
Robbie,
Emery's fault or the players?
players more than Emery. However, I want to quickly turn around certain things. I haven't been for a while. Last time I was here, people said, oh my God, you never answered Robbie's question. You answered it within 5 seconds and then went on for 5 minutes. Right, firstly, just cast your memories back to this time last season. Everyone wanted to get rid of Wenger, end of. Now, Wenger's been there 20-odd years. I've supported Arsenal since 1971, through thick and thin. People are showing impatience with Emery. Emery has got a massive track record. To win the Europa League 3 times as a manager, awesome. He has got rid of some players last season, brought some in. He will clear out some more, and you've got to give him an acid test at the end of next season.
If he doesn't win the Europa League, would you still think he should stay?
At the beginning of the season, if someone said you will be in the top 6 and you'll win the Europa League, how many of you would have bought that? Now we last 4 games we've blown an element of we were 3rd, 1 point out of 12. In each of the last 4 games, we've gone in when 1 or 2 of our other rivals have dropped points on a big scale and bottled it. Now, one thing I would say to Emery, he's got to get some sort of psychiatrist or psychologist in there. Mentally, yeah, that as well. Mentally, some of those players are not strong, but some of those players he's going to get rid of. I mean, today, when I look at what we've got, he's done as well as he can with what we have got. But the players mentally, just remember in the last 4 games, we have dropped 11 points out of 12. We got to 3rd. Most people never thought we would have got to 3rd. But within that, we beat Napoli, who's doing really well in the Italian league, with a clean sheet home and away. Can anyone explain that logic?
I can't.
A lot of that is in the head.
I can't. What about you? Sorry. What about you? Emery, whose fault is it? Is it Emery's fault? Or is it the players? Is it just down to the players?
You know what it is? It's a bit of both. Because what it is, yeah, it's like, I think everyone's forgetting Emery's history with the Europa League. Like, Emery's won the cup. How many times? He's won it the most times. Is it 3 times? So I have every hope that Arsenal will get into the final and win the final. So the pressure's kind of off a little of qualifying for Champions League. But it's going into next season, which is the worry, because we haven't got none of the qualities that we need. Like you said about Van Dijk when he told Shaqiri to whip it in with the in-swinger rather than... We have no leaders. Because Koscielny, how long has he been at the club for? And I've never seen him...
Nearly 10 years.
Nearly 10 years, nearly a decade. And I've never seen him really get the aggression out of the players. It's not good enough. It's not good enough.
Emery, is it Emery's fault or is it the players' fault?
I think the majority of the time this season has been the players' fault. For the simple fact is, Emery has come in Emery, that's how you pronounce his name.
Emery. Emery.
That's how they pronounce it in Spain.
Is it?
Emery, yeah, Emery. Emery's coming.
You're getting it wrong all season.
Well, now you're learning something new. Unai has come in. He's asked the players to play a different style. Yeah, move on with the times. Our style of play, for example, Man City, we're trying to play from the back, even though it was never going to work. Like throughout the season, even today, I see with us, yeah, when we get the ball, we're not doing the right things. The decision making is not good enough, and then from the mid, and that comes based from the midfield, because Lacazette and Aubameyang, they've done their part. I think the midfield has not done enough. Away from home says it all.
So for who's to blame for you for the poor results?
Emery, he takes some criticism. For a couple of games, he's made some mistakes, but again, these players are uncoachable and undisciplined. So for me, for next season, yeah, I would say let's get rid of 7 to 9 of the woeful players that are not good enough. I've counted 7, 9, if not 10 or 11 players that are not good enough for Arsenal Football Club, who don't have that.
You agree with that? 7 to 9 players should go?
No. I don't agree with that, boy. He might have, you know what, I think he's standing next to Claude a bit too long, I think, possibly.
No, but he's got a good point. And then listen, these players, 5-6 games ago, were in the prime position to get in the top 4, right? They bottled it. They have absolutely bottled it.
I don't know about.
What is it then? Sorry. What is it then? What is it? If they haven't bottled it, what is it?
Well, if we'd bottled it, we wouldn't have beaten Napoli and Valencia, wouldn't we?
The league. Forget Napoli and Valencia for a minute. In the Premier League, in the Premier League, we were on the verge of top 4. We had the easiest running. We lost to Everton. We've beat Watford with 10 men, only just. Right. We lost to Palace. We've drawn with Brighton. We've been beaten by Wolves. We've lost to Leicester.
With 10 men.
Right? They bottled it, Ty.
I don't know if they bottled it with 10 men.
What is it then? What have they done?
No, but what the thing about it is that it's still a work in progress, isn't it? We are a work in progress. So if we were, I better look around if Claude is listening, because Claude always loves to bring up Arsenal. If we were doing bad last season, we can't expect to just jump to the next phase straight away.
We want to see an improvement, though, innit?
Yeah, but there is an improvement. But
Where? Where's the improvement?
Unai hasn't improved us then. You don't think Unai's improved us?
I'm asking you, where is it?
The improvement is obviously defensively. But it's going to take a while. It's a new head coach, and the players are adapted to them. Personally, I think the players are good enough, but we need a squad. Because if our best players are injured, we don't have the same squad.
Yes. These players good enough?
Yeah, because they're good enough. Well, partly I blame the coach. Against Everton, we should have won that game. For some reason, negative formation, we lost it. Palace, against Crystal Palace, I came in, I told you, we should have won that game, we lost it. Are you telling me that it's because of the players? No, we need to start saying that the coach is partly responsible for some of the cock-up. I'm sorry.
That's harsh. As far as I'm concerned, Unai Emery's doing the same thing that Wenger was doing, but better. Wenger had the same crap players to work with, but even this season, we're looking more hungry. We're looking more up for it. We're looking like
over the last. Have we looked hungry? Have we looked hungry over the last?
The last 3 years, these players weren't playing for Wenger. None of them wanted to be at this club. All right. None wanted. At least this season, we're trying our hardest. Do you know what I mean? I think that it's down to the players. The players aren't good enough. Emery can only coach them to a certain degree if they're good enough. But how many players will get into Man City squad? Realistically, how many will get into Man City squad? None of them. That's what I'm saying. But my second point that I want to really talk about, Robbie, is Rambo. I said it here last time. The fact that we can let Rambo was crying there. I knew how much Rambo loved this club before today. Seeing Rambo in tears, emotional. I hope the board, the Kroenke sons, a lot of them are watching that we're letting our best player, as per usual. Only Arsenal Football Club lets their best players leave for nothing. Why is that? But yet people are still coming, expecting us to do great. We're an average team right now. We are where we belong. With the players that we got, we can't expect to get any better, realistically. So as far as I'm concerned, Emery's come in. We've got a better points different compared to last season. We got 1 foot in the Europa League final, similar to last season, but we bottled it at the last minute. We're not going to bottle it. We're going to get through to the Europa League final. Today was a big disappointment for me personally, because it was an opportunity to get back in there and at least give us something to fight about on the last day of the season. There's nothing to fight for now. So all our eggs are in the one basket. I trust Unai. I really do. He's been there. He's done that before. But unlike Ty, I don't think the players are good enough. I think next season we need at least 8 new players. A lot of them can get out. Lacazette can stay. Leno can stay. Aubameyang can stay. The rest of them, wastage, Robbie, man. But it upsets me to see Rambo leaving here for free. I was almost in tears as well, man, because it shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening, fam.